Hello, welcome to Tech Sharmit. In this session, we will discuss about another DB2 SQL function, which is greatest. So greatest function is mainly used to identify, let's say you have some hard-coded values or you have some variable in which you have stored some data, and then you want to identify like which values is the greatest value among all the hard-coded values or all the variable values. So in that case, you can easily utilize this greatest function. Other than this, we can also use this greatest function with multiple columns. Let's say in our table we have multiple column which is storing some data, and you want to check like which column has the maximum value. So in that case also we can utilize greatest function. So let me show you one program which is functions program where I have noted down one scenario which will clear your doubt like how we can use this greatest function. So in order to use greatest function, first of all, what we are doing, we are declaring one constant which is SQL state underscore valid with 5 times zeros, and this constant we are going to use to verify whether the query is executed properly or not. Below to this, we have declared one variable which is result variable, and this variable we are using in order to store the output which we are retrieving from this greatest function. Then we are setting the commit equals to star none, which is optional because we are not doing any modification. But if you are doing any modification through your SQLRPGLE program, in that case you can utilize these three lines. Otherwise you can skip this. And here is the main query where we are using this greatest function. So how I am using this? Select greatest. Then we have some hard-coded values 10, 5, 8, 15, 12. In place of these values, you can also pass variable. It is up to you. But for time being, we are using this hard-coded values. Then we are checking, like this function will check which one is the greatest value, and whatever the greatest value it will fetch, it will store it into this host variable result. And this data is coming from sysibm.systeme1. Basically, this function is coming from sysibm.systeme1. So I hope the syntax is clear to all of you. You just need to write greatest, and inside parentheses you can pass your either your hard-coded values or your variables. So once this query is executed, we will check if SQL state is equals to SQL state underscore valid. If it is, then we will print the result. Else we will print the SQL state along with the error message query ended with an error. Clear? And then we are setting the INLR equals to star on. So let's verify what output we are getting here. So output is 15. So if you check your program again, you can see we are getting correct output because 50 is the greatest value among all these values. Okay. So this is how we can utilize this greatest function. Now same thing, let's say if you want to use on table data, for a time being just assume that these two columns, one we have two columns, right? One is for the sales of 2022 and one is for the sales of 2023, although it is age and year of service. But for now just assume that this is for sales of 2022 and this is for sales of 2023. Now you want to identify in which year the sales was the greatest. So in order to identify that, you can simply write this query, select the star from Sharmit1 slash table1, then press F4, go for field selection, press F4, select your columns. For now I'm just selecting age or year of service, but you can select your own columns. Okay, then simply go here and write greatest and parenthesis, and inside a parenthesis you can pass two column and simply hit enter. So whatever the greatest value it will find, it will be printed here. Okay, for now like you can see that age is the maximum value already, so that's why it is printing age. But for example, like if we find the same thing in between monthly salary and product sale, let's see, or instead of age we can use this function, right? Let me change it bit. Here we will put instead of year of service we will write monthly salary and then simply hit enter. So you can see now it is printing greatest is 5,400, 200, 4,200 and so like on. Okay, so yeah, I hope the overall purpose of greatest function is clear to you. Like this function you can use either to identify whether which hard coded value is maximum or the greatest one. Also you can check with variables, And if you are working with a table, then you can identify like which column contains the maximum or the greatest value. So yeah, that's all for this session. I hope it is clear to all of you. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.